what I want to do just right now, very quickly, just a moment of your time, is to go through something which happens quite a lot to me, and I think to a lot of neuroscientists, which is you get extremely angry when people say the phrase, we only use 10% of our brains, and actually, I wonder what the rest of it's doing. As though that was a big and interesting question rather than an idiotic thing to think. So let's just row back on that slightly. So, in a way, yes, 10% of our brain cells might only be active at any one time, give or take, although that obviously changes a lot depending on what you're doing. But that is a good thing. That is a very, very good thing. We do not want any more active. The higher up you go, it doesn't make things better. It's not just like piling fuel on a fire where it just gets hotter and better. No. So think about it like a bad analogy, football, right? So when they play football, the footballers, they're only really using about 10% of the pitch at any one time, right? Like the bit where the ball is and the bit around that. And they're sort of jostling around and pushing each other and football. But you wouldn't say that the rest of the pitch was not in use, would you? It's the same deal. Maybe those cells aren't active, but there's a very good reason why they're not active. Now imagine a football pitch which was constantly being used all the time. It's got about 50 balls in there, multi-ball, and I don't know, maybe 250 or 300 players all from different teams. That's not football anymore, really. That's better. Isn't it? That's much better. It's a much better game. But it's not football, and it doesn't work like football, and the rules wouldn't work. So, it's the same with the brain. You cannot use 100% of the brain at any one time. The optimal computational efficiency, where we can compute the most information best from the outside world, is when not all of the cells are firing at any given time. And it may be around 10%, I don't know, maybe there is some truth to that rumour, maybe that's where it sprung from. But, so a good example of when we use 100% of our brain is when we have an epileptic fit. That's when actually most of the neurons are firing at the same time. And you might have noticed that that renders you pretty much unconscious most of the time. It's a bit like if you were in a room talking to someone and everybody started talking at the same time, trying to tell everybody everything as loud as they could, and everybody wanted everybody else to do things for them. It would be like Christmas. It would be like a family Christmas. Whereas the most efficient way of doing things would be if one person was explaining something in a room and other people were listening, or maybe waiting to be talked to by someone else. I don't know. No Christmas is like that. Take this away. When someone says to you, yeah, but we only use 10% of our brain, I wonder what the rest of it's doing. Just very carefully push them backwards until they're no longer anywhere near you. No, just explain to them there's a difference between us only using 10% of our brain and only 10% of our brain cells being active. And that we should be glad that we only have 10% active at any one time, or we would be on the floor in having a fit. Which is no bueno. So, yes, take that with you, put that in your little case of knowledge, and be thankful that you know it, and that you never have to be that guy again. Next time you meet me at a party, don't say that, and don't even think it, because I know, I can tell, I can read minds. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.